Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now I thought I'd speak about Rupert Lowe and Nigel Farage and what's going on with them at the moment. Now I saw a poll which was done by Dan Wootton on his channel on YouTube, which basically said over 50% wanted Rupert Lowe to be the leader of reform. Now, being somebody who comes from Southampton, that's where I was born, spent 30 years of my life, over 30 years of my life in Southampton, and remember the days of Rupert Lowe as the chairman of Southampton Football Club. I'm not going to be his number one fan, okay, because he did do a great job there. But does he speak well as an MP and a politician? Yeah. Has he got his own views? Yeah. Do I think he would be the perfect person to lead reform? Not entirely sure about that one. Could he do a better job than Nigel Farage? Yeah, quite possibly he could. Because fundamental problem that I feel with Nigel Farage. Now, Nigel Farage is a great person about getting support. A bit like Tommy Robinson, okay? Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage are nothing alike. So don't begin to think, in a way, Nigel Farage and Tommy Robinson even remind me a bit of Adolf Hitler. Completely different people, same as Donald Trump in America. They're fantastic speakers and they're fantastic at getting support. And that's what them four people all have in common, okay? Politically, nothing like each other. But fundamentally, they're great at talking and they're great at getting support and getting people behind them. Now, going forward, now I know Dan Wootton in his last show said, I predicted by 2029, Nigel Farage will be Prime Minister. And he claims to be the first person to predict that. Now, I'm not so sure he's correct on that. I'm not so sure that Nigel Farage would make a good Prime Minister. I'm very sure that he'd be very good at getting support. I think his fundamental problem for winning an election is the Conservative Party. Not the Labour Party, but the Conservative Party, because they're both on the same side. And if it carries on going down the same route, Labour will win the next election. No matter how badly they run the country, they will win the next election. That's my personal view. Okay, so the reality is Nigel Farage doing a good job of controlling this? No, he's not. He's doing an awful job. Because the fundamental problem, this is the problem a lot of people say, is one, Nigel Farage doesn't like to get up in people's faces. Two, he's used to a degree, not having big personalities, which he's got, with the likes of Richard Tice. But he doesn't go against them. And he's certainly got with Rupert Lowe. And if you want to lead a big party, you've got to be able to deal with them big personalities and the friction. And the worst thing you can ever do is making it public, which he's gone and done. They've both gone and done that. They've dealt with this in the worst possible way. So when Nigel Farage comes out and says, yeah, but he shouldn't have done it, when we got 2 weeks until we make the nominations for local elections or something, you've got no room to talk yourself. When you're going on TV in Australia, doing interviews, slating them, when you're going to national newspapers, Times or Telegraph, whichever it was, I think it was Telegraph, slating Rupert Lowe, saying he wants to take over and you want to slag him off into the ground. It's the wrong way to do it. You wouldn't do it in a business. You know, you always talk about, but you're a businessman. But you came from big business, you know, up in London at the end of the day. You wouldn't do that. You keep it behind closed doors. So why would you do it when you're leading a party and it's fundamentally going to affect the way things are going? When you're the amount of people that are behind you is actually falling because of the way you're behaving. So my personal view is Nigel Farage needs to take a long hard look at himself. Rupert Lowe certainly needs to as well, because nobody's going to come out well. Fundamentally, the risk is that their polling rating will sink, because their CVAM is nothing different really to Labour and the Conservatives, because this is what you expect from the Labour Party Conservatives. But the fundamental difference is there's a lot more Labour MPs and Conservative MPs. There's what, about 5 or 6 Reform ones, and you're having a falling out like this in public. It don't look good. How would Nigel Farage cope if he's got 300 MPs? You know, that's what you're looking at, 200-300 MPs if you win an election. How is he going to cope and deal with all them big egos? And that's the question I really do have. And why I question, is he really the right person to lead the party long term to win an election? If he's going to, because at the moment, if he's going to run the party in the way that he's running it at the moment, I would see him being more of like a Liberal Democrats, not a potential party that's going to win an election, because that's not the way that you do things. So let us know in the comments what you think. If you think I'm wrong, fine, tell me. But let us know in the comments down below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again a bit later.